It's true what they say. Your life does flash before your eyes.
That is exactly how the feeling of depression creeps in and walks into the life of an individual like a monster. And before you could realize it, you are being turned into a monstrous animal, a monstrous killer. On this episode of the show, we shall be dealing with a very crucial, important topic that affects virtually every individual on the face of the earth. I'm sure at the moment or at the point of recording this video, a greater number or score of youths and adolescents in the country are currently going through one form or phase of depression or another. Unfortunately, it happens to be such an underrated killer, assassin, monstrous animal. Stick around. Today's edition of the show promises to be entertaining, educating, informating, and enlightening. You don't want to miss any part of it, right? Okay, guys. Sorry, there's gonna be a new twist to the show today. I will be having or hosting a buddy or a partner who will be helping me discuss this crucial and important health topic with me today. I will be helping you deal with your depression or whatever it is you think that you are going through, your anxiety or peer pressure or whatever. So you want to stick around, right? Don't worry. At the end of watching this video, you will feel relaxed. Stick around. What up, buddy? What's up? How you doing? What's up with the accent, man? Now my mother tongue at the talk now. My mother tongue. Okay, sorry guys, maybe my mother tongue at the talk like this, so but I don't understand this guy. If they talk, so you don't understand my accent. Now this is my tongue. Need my tongue? Do you need my tongue? Do you need
Okay,
my tongue?
sorry, apologies guys. This guy is trying to make me feel somehow right now. okay, no problem. I'll try my possible best to switch up. Okay, don't be say I no go fit, but let's just get straight to business. You understand? Let's just get straight to business. You know what we're here to discuss about, right? We're here to talk about something that affects virtually every youth. You understand?
Okay, pause
So
first, pause
it's
first.
something that I take so much pleasure and joy and fun
Calm down
doing
first,
because
calm
I've been
down,
there
calm
once.
down. I'll ask you one question. Like, have you ever felt depressed? Be sincere.
Well, man, I'm not even gonna lie, man. Yeah, I felt depressed sometime in my life. Yeah, it's important to say this though. One way of getting or healing from depression is speaking or talking about it. Yeah. Okay. At the point of doing all this video stuff, trying to cover this stuff, I felt depressed. Do you get? I felt depressed.
That's nice. But how were you able to cope, or how were you able to deal with it?
Alpha, calm down now. No, the rush. Why your blood the hot like this now? Hey, okay. I'm actually gonna give you guys tips on how I deal with or dealt with my depression, and this is a smart way of dealing with depression. So just stick around to the end of this video. You are gonna definitely get these tips, amazing ways of dealing with your own depression, and I believe
Sorry to
that will
cut you
help
short
you.
there, bro. Sorry to cut you short. I beg,
Alpha, where they go now?
get something. I need to deal with something now.
Is it?
I need to go and deal with my depression. Like, my depression is somewhere. My depression is somewhere. I just have to go and deal with it immediately. Okay? I got you, bro. I got you. I got you, bro. Depression is a state of mental illness that tends to persist for a very long time. Medical research has proven that the Prevalence level of or persistence level of depression is about 11%. And people with depression also having some other medical or health issues like social dysfunction or social functioning, something like poor health growth and poor academic performances and the rest. And in addition to the extra mental illness that accompanies depression is the thought of suicide. People with depression are often faced with the thoughts of suicide, and suicide is the second leading cause of death. About 37% of persons with depression and the thoughts of suicide don't even talk about or speak about it. This reason has been attributed to fear of being stigmatized, and also there are some other extra factors like poor health literacy and poor or low self-esteem. In the gender-based statistics, girls or females are more likely to face depression. Quickly, let's just move into the major causes of depression. The first on the watch list today is failed or bad relationships. Let's take, for instance, broken homes, broken families, broken marriages, failed relationships, or bad relationships, or relationships that turned out to be bad. The next on this list is abuse. Abuse of any sort, physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, domestic abuse. The next on the list as well is what I term cycle or phase of negative occurrences. Let's take, for instance, a continuous experience of financial downturn, what we call SAPA. SAPA is a major cause of depression now. Seriously, SAPA is a major cause of depression in our country now. We also have a continuous experience of failed businesses, death or loss. Yeah, sadness that comes with the death or loss of a loved one. The next is age. In the elderly, elderly are more likely to feel depressed. A family with a history of depression will often have the higher chances or increase of one or two persons in the family experiencing depression. We also have some other biological factors, like the brain chemistry. When the brain chemistry tends to malfunction, hormonal imbalance, for instance, in the female gender, when they are experiencing their period or menstruation cycle, they tend to fall into depression. So quickly, we're going to be moving into the symptoms or the signs to watch out when one is about to fall into depression. So basically, these are two things that you need to watch out for. They are the emotional changes and then the behavioral changes. On the emotional changes, you have the feeling of sadness and crying for no reason, anxiety, frustration, anger, hopelessness, loss of interest in pleasurable activities, loss of interest in families and loved ones, low self-esteem, thoughts of past experiences that are usually awful or bad, sense of bad humor, and the one that is actually on the top of this list would be the frequent thoughts of death or suicide. Then on the behavioral changes or the behavioral symptoms, we have drug abuse or drug misuse or insomnia, loss of weight, excessive loss of weight, and loss of energy, and tiredness, agitation, slow thinking pattern or slow speaking pattern, the social isolation, self-harm or self-cutting oneself. Okay guys, at this point, I believe you have a fair knowledge or substantial knowledge about depression and especially how to identify depression and the causes of depression. Now moving into my special moment on how to deal with depression, we are going to be dealing with it strictly. All right. My first prescription on this section is something I see as a piece of advice, and that is accepting your uniqueness, accepting yourself the way you are. You don't need to lie to yourself or try to emboss yourself into something, or you don't need to try to emboss yourself into trying to fix to the nature or the trending aspects of whatever it is that is going on in the society. You need to accept yourself the way you are and appreciate yourself. Okay, let's go straight with the conventional way first. In the conventional way of dealing with depression, we have the psychotherapy and then we have the medication. Under the psychotherapy, we have personal or private counseling sessions, and then we also have the group therapy. All right, another form or conventional means of dealing with depression is the medication, through medication. There is always a family therapist or medical doctor or psychiatrist who provides medication. Okay, guys, I'm actually excited about this particular section of this show because it's something that is a bit more practical, especially as a youth in dealing with depression. So let's go. My own smart way, the way I dealt with depression and the way I dealt with my anxiety while I was going through that phase was using a system that I call the passion system. So whenever I'm feeling bad or weak, I just fall back to myself and you see me singing and rapping to beats and doing freestyle on beats and all of that stuff.
Body with your face, no, I don't do the things pay me, I they like to do. And no get time for your bad vibes, so please go cook your own food, make a chop my own but food, make you just give your bad vibes away from me. You be fool. Oh, but cause they valid of the shadow of that, I know they even fake with your face, so they look at me, yes, cause I got my God and my mama pray already guide me every day from my life, so yeah.
Whenever I start singing or rapping to those beats, I feel good. I feel back to myself, like the sounds, they make me feel good and nice. The one system that introduced me to music was radio. My first love was radio because radio made me fall in love with music. This has made me, anywhere I'm going, I always have my radio set with me, which is here. I have it right here with me.
FM mode.
That's why I don't mind the way just because I jealous, we nothing to be jealous, we live in the forever. Now that you see me just you want to like the big stone, you want to just slow me
Man, you can see, man, these stations they play mad tunes, man. They play way back. They play nostalgic tunes.
One way, such an underrated way to deal with depression, especially as a youth, especially as a teen or adolescent, is to always have your urban radio station. Make that your favorite company. I love my radio. And nothing can come in between I and my radio. Whenever I'm in a place where I know I cannot make use of this, I always have my urban radio app on my phone and my earpiece, and yeah, I stick to it every time. Like I said, that is my passion system of dealing with depression. So there are other smart tips which we are going to be looking at immediately. Reading interesting books and magazines, listening to cool music, rapping or freestyling to beats in case you love singing, visiting outdoor recreational centers like visiting the gym, watching comics or cartoons, and of course the two that I already listed playing or practicing with instrumental beats or playing or practicing with musical instruments. It's like the guitar, like the keyboard or the piano or the drum set, and of course listening to your radio. Believe me, these radio stations are there for you. They are entertaining, they are enlightening. Oh my god, I love my radio station. All right guys, we have come to the end of today's episode, and I believe
you have been entertained, enlightened, and educated, please do well to subscribe to this channel and like and also share so that this message can spread across. I love you, and until next time we meet, keep being yourself and keep impacting.
So we could give it to me some more. So you can listen to me. So we could give it to me. Right away.